and welcome to Conexiones, your show about Latin culture in the U.S. My name is Ana Maria Beck, and tonight we have a special show. We have a guest. She is from Puerto Rico, and she is a fashion blogger. We're going to be talking about her life and about how she got into the fashion blogger career, and we're going to learn so many different things. We have had an interesting time here that we will not discuss,
Yeah.
So we're going to try and do this interview all the way through.
Yes.
And so thank you so much for being here, Sarah. How are you?
Doing well. It was so nice to meet you. I know it's been a year since you launched the magazine. So it's been crazy.
A little bit over a year, and that's where we met.
Yes.
And I found your Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, I love it so much. The different things you do, the makeup tutorials, the products reviews, the styling, the tips that you give about the different fits for your favorite outfits and all of that. I think it's done so nicely, and I know
Thank
that
you.
your background has a lot to do with that, because this is not, I mean, this is a passion of yours, but you're trained to do this type of blogging, right? Because tell me about your background, your education.
Yes, so I attended LSU. That's how I ended up in New Orleans.
Okay.
So I am a Tiger. I went in studying broadcast journalism at the Manship School of Mass Communications. It's a really great school. You have to take tests every semester. You have to apply to the college, and you have to take a lot of rigorous classes. And that includes PR, mass media law, all these courses that eventually is going to help you in your career. So I did broadcast journalism. I always wanted to write. I even have a tattoo. It says, "Without anger or bias." That is a quote from Tacitus. So I always wanted to write without anger or bias, just reporting the truth. And that's what I did at LSU. Except I was a little bit intimidated by my accent, especially whenever they were filming me and things like that, because I was the only Puerto Rican there, actually the only Hispanic in the class.
That's it's funny. I did see a blog post about that, the accent, and I'm like, I can not hear an accent in you, and I'm like, okay, if she feels some way about her accent, I can even like how should I be feeling? But I think it's important. We were discussing that too, like representation in our society, in the U.S. There is so many people with accents, but we don't see them on TV that often. We don't hear them on the radio. The local shows, the radio shows that the people call in. I always thought, I'm just gonna call in. I don't have a question about the topic, but I just wanna put an accent in these things, because we're intimidated. We don't want people to hear our accent, so we don't call, we don't participate. So I'm like, you know what? This show is bilingual, but I speak mostly English. I try to do English because most people speak English, and we want that content to be available for everyone, not just our Spanish-speaking audience. So it's interesting to know that somebody with not so much of an accent was intimidated by that.
Yeah, and I mean, we had a class where we would do our package. So basically, we would interview, we would do a story, interview the sources, we would do our reporter track, and we would edit it. And my feedback was always that my sound wasn't good.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, maybe it's the sound or whatnot. But then I was not confident back then, and I was like, oh, it's my accent. They just don't want to say it.
Oh,
yeah.
So which one was it? Did you ever figure it out?
It was the sound, definitely.
Okay.
It wasn't my accent at all.
That was just the first thing that comes to mind, because you're self-conscious about it.
I was intimidated, and they also played your reporter track in front of the whole class. So it's like 25 people judging your video.
Oh, I totally understand. But you know what? I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't care anymore either. With that sound issue, it led me to have a double major at LSU.
Okay.
So I started getting interested in sound design in the theater department. So I did a lot of plays, experimented with how to fix sound, and then my editing got better at journalism, at broadcasting. So
you definitely understand everything about the audiovisual world, and you combine that with your love of fashion. And we haven't talked about when this love of fashion started.
Yes, so after I graduated LSU, I got an internship it was known as Voodoo Arena Football.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Okay, so Arena Football League. They had a team in New Orleans called Voodoo. So I was interning for them in media operations.
Okay.
And my mom was like, okay, I'll help you with your apartment in New Orleans for 3 months, which is your internship, but you need to pay your own bills or move back home.
No.
I wasn't moving back home. And I was like, I'm getting a job ASAP.
Okay.
So I got a job at the Real Walk Outlet Mall when they reopened it. And it was my first experience with retail. Now, fashion is something that I've always loved doing. I've always shopped whenever I was growing up with my mom and my sister, shopping in men's sections because it would fit us better on our chest and our backs because we had wider backs.
Okay.
And all of us were pear-shaped. So same measurements on the waist and on the chest. And learning about fabrics, about clienteling, I just fell even more in love with fashion, especially tailoring, fit, and experimenting with different styles.
So you said you didn't want to move back home, and I know that back home was Florida at the time, and that you're originally from Puerto Rico.
See,
Okay. And how come you didn't want to move back?
so I have this, it's just a self-conscious a little bit because in our culture it's very common for kids to live with their parents for many years, even up to when they're 30s.
Yeah. Totally
For me-
normal. So weird for Americans to understand that.
Yes, and you live with your grandparents and everything. Now, I wanted to be very independent. I wanted to be educated. I wanted to surpass what people thought of me as being an immigrant. I mean, it is Puerto Rico, but you are seen as a different person around, especially around other cultures in Florida. So my goal was to not only be better, but also leave and do my work away from home, which was Florida. So I wanted to travel, I wanted to go far away, I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to become independent.
Okay.
So I do feel independent that way. Just like stepping away from home and not living in the same state, I'm like, okay, that was a challenge that I conquered. Now, do I miss it? Yes, all the time. I mean, I do want to go to the beach back again, like almost every day.
Right, right.
And I love my family and I love hanging out with them. So it is difficult, but everybody has obstacles in life, and I think it only makes you a better person.
Nice.
Yes.
So we were talking about you started working in retail. When did you start taking your daily activities from retail and making it into this beautiful blog that you have, the website, and your Instagram, Facebook? Because really, you do a great job.
Thank
It just
you.
looks wonderful. The things that you write about are so interesting. And obviously, the things that you show, they're very appealing. I was telling you that, when you do your makeup tutorials,
Yes.
even though like I don't get that intense with makeup, it's so relaxing just to see you, through the whole process, talk about the products that work better.
I didn't
for
think it was
certain
that entertaining for me.
I mean, it was, well, for me it is, and I know for
Yes.
many people it is as well, because it's very relaxing. Somehow I find it relaxing just to see the whole process take place. And I mean, that's not the only thing you do.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I love how you do it. It's nicely curated. It's just pleasant to look at. When you're, in your downtime using social media, it's like, oh, okay, there is a makeup tutorial and you have like a day where you do different things. Tell me a little bit about how you got all this together.
So I have a background in journalism, but I've always been FaceTiming my family 24/7. So I've become comfortable making coffee while FaceTiming my family, getting dressed, doing my makeup. So I've been getting comfortable in front of the camera for a while. So it makes it really easy for me to create stories on Instagram. So when I started working at my first retail job, it was extremely difficult because we had so much inventory coming in, so much traffic, we were growing rapidly, and operations was like the most important thing in the store.
Okay.
The corporate offices didn't have the right measurements for the store, so we were getting between 300 to 400 boxes of inventory
Wow.
on a daily basis. It
Yeah.
took us about 9 to 10 months to figure out the right measurements, and that's when inventory started flowing more smoothly. So in that process, I got super organized. I learned new techniques that I applied to my closet and my everyday life. And I also increased a department that was really struggling in the store to have an increase of 10 to 12% a year. And that was in handbags. So that's where my love for visual merchandising started from. I started to think about, what do people think whenever they come into the store? What do I want them to think? And what do they need? So that is something that I've incorporated in my blogging, visual merchandising. It is styling, it is presenting to the consumer or my followers a different perspective when it comes to fashion and what I want them to see. So that's actually one of the services I offer on my website. It's styling session, going into your closet, helping you pick out an outfit. But if you're a fashionista yourself, maybe you have an item that is difficult to match. I'll do a styling session on the go. We'll go to boutiques. We'll try to figure out the best way to style you where you can feel confident and wear that outfit, because you, it can't be sitting in the closet. It
You,
needs to be seen.
I like something you said earlier about the confidence that fashion is not about how it looks. Tell me what you said.
Yeah, so we have a lot of thoughts, or we're thinking the wrong way about fashion.
Okay, yes.
We always think about, like, does this make me look skinny? Does this fit okay? Is this too tight? What you need to focus on is how confident you feel in the garment. Peplums is not made for people who are pear-shaped, slim-shaped, like whatever shape it is. If you like a peplum top and you like the style, then style it accordingly, because confidence is what's gonna wear the outfit. Don't let the outfit wear you. So don't worry about like wearing the old black, the old gray. Just see what you like, how it fits into your lifestyle, and before you know it, you'll be getting compliments at the coffee shop, which I always do.
So if you don't really know, if you're not sure what really works for you, that's when somebody like you can come and be
Yes.
super helpful.
Yeah, so for my Instagram, I try to experiment a lot with work outfits, because I am working 2 jobs. I work 5 to 6 days a week. So I need makeup tutorials that are easy and on the go, that look great, that blend, and will last between 12 to 14 hours a day in the heat of Louisiana and humidity. And I also
Yeah.
need outfits that are comfortable, are presentable, but sometimes I want to be a little bit more casual. So what garments and what pieces are going to dress up the outfit while still feeling a little bit cool? So that's definitely my main focus. And I feel that having these 2 jobs also makes other people relate to me, relate to my struggles of, like, sometimes I need to buy certain types of shirts because I sweat so much during work. So I talk about that in my blog. Like, this is what has happened to me. This is what I've learned. Share your thoughts and opinions. I want to learn too. So I am helping them style, but they're also helping me with their feedback.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
engage with my audience. That's the number one, I would say, my recommendation for any brand, clienteling and bloggers, is engage with your audience, and authentic engagement. Look at their Instagram, what they're doing, what they're commenting on. Why are they commenting always on the makeup stuff? Maybe they need help, and reach out to them. When it comes to clienteling, there's certain things that you pick up on a customer. So they are always talking about their kids. So what about their kids is important to them, and how can you help them fit this merchandise into their lifestyle? So definitely engaging with an audience, with your followers, is key to success.
And so we're talking about the confidence in a positive way that comes from fashion, but at the same time, this fashion and beauty industry has created a lot of issues for mostly like young girls that are not confident because certain things are not offered to them, or they don't look the way we are shown on magazines and ads, how they're supposed to look. There is not very many different types of shapes, body shapes that are represented in the media. That's changing, thankfully. There is a lot of curvy ads and plus size models and short, tall. You know, we're seeing a little bit more diversity, but for a while, and I feel like with the filters and with all these makeup options, like, we're also masking and hiding a lot of things that are normal in reality. So how do you feel about that from the fashion industry
Yeah,
and
and trying to
beauty
find the
industry?
balance because you want to experiment, but then you're also saying, like, is this my true personality? I think the greatest example is the beauty industry. It's super big on YouTube, and every launch, when it comes to foundation, it is expected of the brand to have between 40 and 50 shades because 5 shades doesn't cut it anymore. People have opinions. People have been commenting on YouTube on all these videos on all these brands, reaching out through social media and saying, look, there's no shade range for us. And we've been hidden by the beauty industry for all these years. Like, why is that when we're your number one consumer? So I think the same shift will be happening to fashion as well. I've seen a lot of companies developing a little black dress, but it's not just in terms of like sizes and length, but also body shape. So there'll be the little black dress in a size 8 for a pear shape, a taller frame, people with a shorter inseam or shorter legs. So I think the fashion industry has been taking a long time to catch up. So that is the reason why whenever I refer to buying clothes with my followers, I always harp on tailoring. Find
Yes.
something that you feel comfortable in and tailor it.
And you have like a very good tip that you told me earlier, and I was like, it never even crossed my mind. So
Yes.
why don't you share that tailoring tip with our audience?
Yes, first of all, everybody needs a good tailor.
Okay.
And those are hard to find. I think that tailors who do a lot of menswear are going to be better in denim and with dresses and evening gowns. So that's my number one tip. My second tip is, let's say you're a petite like me. It's difficult to find pants off the rack that fit. It is more inexpensive to fix inseams, sleeves, and lengths in garments than fixing more contoured areas like the hips, waist, and chest. So find a garment that fits you great on your hips, great on your chest, great on your waist. You feel comfortable in it. And then the tailor can just hem it or take it in or taper the leg. And that's going to be a lot more inexpensive than tailoring the hip area. And it's basically going to cost you more than the garment or more that you pay for the garment itself.
That's like a very, very useful tip. I had no idea. I never even, I think I've used a tailor like, I don't know, probably 3 times in my life. But it's very important because the body shapes really like, I don't know, like you were talking about sizing and the sizes from the merchandise that you were getting. So like how many different patterns are there? And you know, when you have these numbers put onto something, like do they account for everything? They can't. So I see why, you know, like these Hollywood stars always look perfect, and it's probably because they have
It's the
their
tailoring.
go-to person that knows their body perfectly.
How many pair of jeans do you have at home?
That fit.
Okay, exactly. Exactly. Like, why not find a perfect pair of denim and get them tailored? Because you're just going to end up spending more and more money trying to find that perfect pair of jeans. It's not going to be possible unless you have a tailor. So there's no excuse for you to be having like 20 pairs of jeans that might or might not
Right.
fit.
That's
Find the right one,
true.
tailor it, and then you just take care of it for years to come. And then down the road, when you need to replace them, do the same thing. That's why tailors are important.
So do you have on your website like a recommendation list of tailors around this town?
I do have 2 tailors. They're both in Metairie. I do have a recommendation on my website, but I'll be posting it on my Insta stories because I know we're going to be getting a lot of questions, and a lot of people want to know, especially when it comes to men's suiting, which is difficult to find.
So tell me, like I know your website, but for everyone else.
Oh, yeah. So my name is Sarah Mariana, so you can find me on sarahmariana.com. So I have a lot of lookbooks on my website. I have blogs, both in English and Spanish. Those blogs are different. So when it comes to
Yeah.
me writing in Spanish, I really think about my target audience and the culture and what kind of issues I want to talk to them about. When it comes to my English audience, I think about what, not only in terms of like lifestyle, but fashion and how to incorporate that into your work attire and sort of different topics. So I treat those two blogs very differently. And if you're bilingual, you're in luck because you're getting the best of both worlds.
There you go.
And
Another
then-
advantage of being bilingual.
Yes, I know. And then I have an Instagram, which I'm always on. I'm always doing Insta stories about what's happening in my day, my favorite coffee drinks, cats, what I'm wearing, what shoes I'm comfortable, what foundations I'm loving, what's happening in the city from my perspective. And I like to say I have a good personality, so it'll be entertaining too for y'all to watch.
I think so. I've been watching, and I think it's very entertaining. And like I said before, I think it's you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm so happy that you came here to spend some time with us.
What do you think is the number one tip that you would recommend writers when it comes to writing and keeping that engagement with the audience?
I think is first of all, practice makes perfect, but there is this pyramids that we talk about, like how you build your story. It can be like from the main idea that you have, and then you break it down into like how you got to that main idea, or backwards, like what's you start building the story, and then you develop that main idea at the end. In terms of tailoring the content to the audience, I think what you were saying about the same thing with social media, like see what's going on, try to find out what people are interested in. And I don't know much about that social marketing, digital marketing, that you can link all these contents together. I think that's very helpful, but I do need to learn a little bit better how to do that, because it's interesting how you can link some other stories into your one story that you're featuring that month or that day, and then you just keep people circling around your own content, which it's always helpful. You can talk about a subject and then refer to something specific, and then this same audience that you already captured with that one piece, then you can just go ahead and drive it to another piece that you wrote maybe a few months earlier or something like that.
And I think it's very special whenever people tag me and they're inspired by my outfit, or they found a foundation that worked and I recommended them. So I think that feels really awesome. And if you want to get recognized by a brand, you should do the same. Taking a photo, it's okay. The brand will see it, but you won't get a response from them. Why? Because they schedule photo shoots. They already have models that they can hire to do those photos. But once they see your content on a daily basis, if they see me drinking coffee on my way to work and I'm having a difficult day, I can assure you the coffee shop is going to say, oh my gosh, we've been there, done that. Come by and get the next cup on us. Or they'll comment on it. So I think tagging brands and getting more recognized in social media is very important to be authentic. And why not be authentic when you're doing stuff on a daily basis? I never thought driving to work and petting my cat would be interested. But people find that interesting. And I'm like, you know what? I never thought, because not a lot of people have cats. Their cats behave differently. Maybe I can show them tips and tricks about taking care of them. So I think the things that we sometimes overlook are the ones that people are the most attracted to.
That's right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you like music?
I do like music.
There was this event that we went to, and I want to share it with you and with our audience. This is a person from Guatemala, which he calls Guatemala. His name is Dr. Nativo, and he came a couple of weeks ago to the Hi-Ho Lounge. Have you been there?
Yes.
So his performance was very interesting and so much energy. So we want to just share that night with the audience. Here is a video with Dr. Nativo. Estamos aquí desde el Hi-Ho Lounge con este grupo súper especial de multiculturas, pero especialmente de Guatemala. Y quiero que nos presentemos rapidito. Por aquí tenemos a...
Yo soy Jenny Delgado, toco el cajón y canto y soy de Puerto Rico.
Y yo soy Alejandro Sierra, toco la trompeta y el trombón y soy de Cuba.
Doctor Nativo de Guatemala.
Leonardo Lombardo y toco el bajo.
Me caí un poquito, pero por aquí tenemos a...
Alexis Vitanza y toco el güiro. y estamos muy felices de que hayan vuelto a New Orleans después de su presentación en el Jazz Fest y esperamos verlos muchísimas veces más, así que les deseo un super show y gracias por concedernos esta entrevista donde vamos a conocer más sobre su música.
Muchísimas gracias a ustedes y gracias por el apoyo, mi gente.
Babilonia, lo van a escuchar. Guatemala, quema copal, pero mira que el DR llegó. Babilonia, lo van a escuchar.
Doctor Nativo, presente aquí en Nueva Orleans. Por primera vez estamos aquí compartiendo, bueno, segunda vez, pero por primera vez aquí en el pueblo, como dicen. Bueno, como le contaba a mi compadre hace un ratito, pues yo empecé desde niño, a los 5 años, ya estaba ahí tocando los tambores gracias a mi padre, Arturito Martínez, percusionista de Cuba, de Santa Clara Las Villas. Y bueno, el apoyo de mi madre, Florecita, la Florecita de Guatemala, que siempre ha estado ahí conmigo, apoyándome desde niño, ¿verdad? Y como le contaba al amigo aquí, pues mis inicios en los escenarios fueron bastante pronto. Yo empecé a los 13 años, empecé a pisar los primeros escenarios y de ahí ya nunca me bajé hasta la fecha. Tengo 37 años. Y bueno, aquí estamos, seguimos ahora ya pues con el apoyo de la disquera de Stone Tree Records y el apoyo de la bandaza con la que ando viajando y de mi esposa también que está en el grupo, en el Wiro, la jefa. Y bueno, aquí estamos.
Dice, ¡ay, morena!
Los integrantes del grupo son de diferentes países. Una de las razones principales por las que son de diferentes países es porque me gusta el sabor de diferentes lugares, porque creo que mi música representa un sonido no solamente de Guatemala, pero también representa las culturas nativas del mundo de cierta parte. Entonces me gusta sentir ese sabor en la banda principalmente. Lo de Guatemala viene a raíz que yo viví 6 años en Barcelona. Estuve ahí haciendo música en la calle. Y siempre que iba a las entrevistas, nos invitaban a muchas entrevistas de todo tipo, ¿verdad? Pues ahí también formé una banda con gente de Paraguay, de México, de todos lados, ¿verdad? Barrio Candela. Y bueno, estuvimos con ellos tocando bastante y como le digo, en las entrevistas siempre preguntaban a todos, ¿de dónde sos? De México. Ay, qué bonito, de no sé dónde. Y cuando me preguntaran a mí, de Guatemala. De Guatemala a Guatepeor, me decían así, automáticamente. Y yo me quedaba así como, wow, eso no, yo en Guatemala no se escucha eso, ¿verdad? Porque obviamente nosotros no lo decimos. Yo me quedé así choqueado, pero dije, bueno, ha de ser una vez que me pasó esto. En la segunda entrevista igual, la tercera igual, cuarta igual. Entonces yo ya me quedé así como, bueno, aquí está pasando algo no está bien, no me gusta esto y ¿qué puedo hacer para cambiarlo? Entonces dije, bueno, voy a ver qué pasa si la próxima vez cuando me pregunten digo Guatemala, ¿verdad? Entonces llegué a la entrevista y ¿usted de dónde? Bien, de aquí, de allá. ¿Y usted de dónde? De Guatemala. ¿De dónde? De la tierra de los mayas, le dije. Y ahí fue cuando ya, dime, cuéntame más de eso. Fue una completamente, y bueno, esta canción viene ya desde hace 15 años sonando en mi país, o sea, los jóvenes es como prácticamente es un himno para la nueva generación. Allá ya la gente, el himno de Guatemala es como un poquito viejo, el viejito, entonces...
¿Qué es lo que dice? Contarle todo mi corazón, día a día es mi lema. A ver, Luisiana. Yo solo quiero vivir bien fácil, comprarte morena. Baby, ya. Contarle todo mi corazón, día a día es mi lema.
Me encanta cuando estamos en un país donde la gente no habla el idioma, no sabe nada y está coreando todas las canciones. Es increíble, o sea, para mí Lo que pasa, la música que yo hago es muy simple, ¿verdad? Entonces, por esa misma razón la gente la puede sentir y la puede vibrar. Cualquier persona puede bailar lo que yo hago. Entonces lo sienten los viejitos, lo sienten los niños, lo sienten los jóvenes, lo siente cualquiera. Entonces me encanta ver cómo rápido empiezan a cantar el coro de cada canción. Eso me hace sentir como que el mensaje está llegando, traspasando pues las barreras de los lenguajes y de las culturas y de todo, ¿verdad? Está llegando, como yo les digo, es International Music Language, ¿verdad?
Para liberarse. What? We're getting there. Para liberarse. Free yourself. That's right. Para liberarse. Este es un llamado para que se levantemos.
Pues me gustaría que me recordaran por ser una persona que da sin esperar nada a cambio.
Cafileros en la calle, matando en la pared de la plena cara de calle. Político corrupto en la hora de tu entierro. Se muere la semilla que envenena el mundo entero. No más, queremos paz. We want peace in the world. Hey yo, hey yo.
Bueno, mi gente, aquí está el doctor Nativo directamente de Guatemala. Los invito a que escuchen mi disco en todas las plataformas. Son 10 canciones power que representan con todas las de la ley. Así que métanle candela, familia.
Este es un llamado para que se levante. Are you ready for hip hop? No es cuestión de querer ser un Pancho Villa ni con dos. Ellas de Amazonas brilla, sueñan con tener estilo, sueñan con volverse un tipo. Van a Europa a trabajar, creen que el último grito de la puta moda, trabajando 200,000 horas para ganar su fucking dinerito. ¿Qué le dice? Oh yeah, go. Are you ready? Are you ready? I wanna hear the fire. Dice, este es un llamado para que se levante. Saquen los sound system y suban los parlantes. A todos los inmigrantes, es hora que dejen de esclavizarse. ¿Qué me dice? Para liberarse. More power. Para liberarse. Luisiana. Yeah. Para liberarse. To free yourself.
That concert was so much fun.
It was crazy. Why wasn't I there?
I don't know. Whoever wasn't there, like, really missed out.
Yeah.
This guy was excellent. All types of different music, like cumbia, reggae. Well, everybody saw it, but
Yeah.
to feel it and to be there and to see like all this diverse crowd just enjoying, dancing, and loving it was incredible. I totally recommend it. I've heard they're trying to bring him back in January. So that time,
They
please
should.
don't miss it. Just, we'll be posting about it in social media because really it's not to be missed. It was a lot of fun, and I really hope he keeps coming back all the time. So usually we have a segment with Jay Coelho. She tells everyone about the events that are coming up, but she is traveling today. She's going to some award show for one of the Telemundo, I don't remember the billboards, I don't know which award show that is, but she's going there. So she abandoned us tonight.
She's living her best
She's
life.
living her best life, and we miss her. So I'm gonna just talk about the events that are coming up for the weekend, because usually we have all these crazy, amazing things. So right now, tonight was the start of the New Orleans Film Festival, and they have all kinds of films. New Orleans, October 16th to the 23rd at the Contemporary Arts Center. And if you want more information on the movies and the documentaries that are taking place, NewOrleansFilmSociety.org, a special screening, a couple of screenings for this film called Border South from a Mexican director. Are going to be showing Sunday the 20th at 2 p.m. I will be there. He's going to do questions and answers to talk about the immigration through the southern border that he followed, and I just can't wait to see this film because it's going to be very interesting. He's also having a show on Tuesday the 22nd at 1:15 p.m. These events are free to the public, so you can attend them, and they have tons of things that really are worth looking into. Then we have Ghosts in the Oaks, October 17th to the 21st, from 5 to 9 p.m. at City Park. Boo Carré, a Halloween hunt at 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the French Market. That's going to be lots of fun with great activities for the kids, children, trick-or-treating. After that, we're going to have the New Orleans Reggae Festival. That should be also very entertaining, October 18th and 19th, from 5 to 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, 12 to 8 p.m. at Congo Square. The Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival is happening October 18th to the 20th, Friday 5 p.m., Saturday and Sunday it starts at 11 p.m. and that's in Lafayette Square. And of course, this one is a fun event, the Crew of Boo.
Yes.
That one should
It's
be
one of
up
my
in the
favorites.
of course, because of all the makeup and the costumes. And so there is that parade on October 19 at 6:30 p.m. It starts at the corner of Elysian Fields Avenue and Charter Street. And more information on crewofboo.com. So I'm sure we're missing a lot of events because this town is full of them, and I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why you wanted to stay as well.
Yeah, I stay here. I mean, the Halloween is the biggest event of the year, so I'll do anything haunted already.
That's my favorite. My favorite event is to go to the French Quarter and enjoy Halloween and see all these wonderful costumes that people come with. Again, I want to thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you all over social media, and you can come anytime here. You're always welcome.
Yeah, I mean, if people want me, I'll come.
So keep up the great work.
Thank you so
and thank you
much.
for being with us on Conexiones. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. I will see you next time, Wednesday at 6 p.m., right here, Facebook, Viva Nola.